Well, hello there. I was going to be out and about today as the weather forecast was good, but unfortunately, still seems a bit cold and clammy out there, so I'm going to delay having a ride till later on in the week. So, I'm going to talk a little bit about motorcycle cleaning products. Not that I have the answer to any of it, but I'm just wondering what people use and what people think of these. With the salt on the British roads, I've been using the Scott Oiler FS365, the stuff on the right. And basically I've been rinsing my motorcycle off and then spraying this stuff liberally all over the bike. And I've been using it quite a lot, so I do go through one of these a month. But I noticed the other day in one of the cut price places that WD-40 have brought out a total wash spray. Again, you wet the bike, spray the stuff on, leave it for 10 minutes and then wash it off with cold water. So that's another product. It seems very similar to me to one of the other things, to the Muck Off product. And I was using the Muck Off spray and somebody said, oh, well, that's got a lot of salts in it, it could damage your bike. And indeed, the people that use washing detergent, some people swear by that, soapy water, and rinse it off. Other people say, no, you shouldn't use it because there's a high content of salt in it. But also, the other thing I use is the ACF 50. This stuff is expensive for what it is, but it's like an upgraded version of WD-40, I think. So I've sprayed all the areas that are susceptible to really bad rust with the salt. I've sprayed it with that. And indeed, that works pretty well. And added to that, the WD-40. And also, this stuff seems to go quite well. Another version of lubricants, but with PTFE. So yeah, so out of these products, I haven't really become a definite convert to any particular one, but I'm just trying them at the moment. Also, just changing the subject slightly, about tyre pressures. I've noticed people using these a lot, so I ordered a couple of these the other day. You can order them in various tyre pressures according to the recommended pressures for your bike. And I'm just getting fed up of squinting down, even with the lights in my garage, and messing about with tyre pressure gauges and whatever. So it's a good visual check in the morning or before you go out on a ride, just to see whether they're right. I don't think it negates the fact that you need to check the tyre pressures with a gauge, but it's a good visual check. And basically, it means you fit these to the valve, you just screw them on top of a valve, and it means green if they're okay, amber if they need some airing, and red if the tyre pressures are really dangerously low. You get a bit fed up of going to garages and putting your 20 pence in the tyre pressure thing in the air compressor, and then inevitably you find that either it's not working or there's something wrong with it. And as you'll all know, the standard air lines at most garages don't seem to be able to get into the valves on motorcycles. So I bought a little piece of kit, you've probably seen in one of the other videos. I got it from Oxford, that extends your valve. You just stick it on the end of your valve and it's a flexible hose, and it allows you to get a conventional tyre pressure connector to pump air in. Allows you to connect that on. But I'm going to give these a whirl. I think they're about £5 each, so that's not a bad price. Yeah. Impressed, well, so far reasonably impressed with these. Certainly avert the problem if you're getting on a bike and it being all over the place due to low tyre pressures. Right, so that's all for now, really. Oh yeah, for anybody that's watching this in the UK, it's not an advert for any of these products, but also I noticed that Aldi, the discount retailer, are doing motorcycle gear from the 20th of March onwards. They've been doing motorcycle gear for quite a while, but it tends to get sold out when it comes in. There's all sorts of stuff coming in, leather jackets, armoured jeans, Garmin sat navs, neck protectors, socks. You need to have a look on the website just to confirm what there is, but they're in the store from the 20th of March onwards. Okay, safe riding and thanks for watching. So anyway, I ended up plan B, and I went out, I had to go over to Nelson, just north of me. And on that 65, the M65, miles and miles of 50 miles per hour mandatory speed limits because of this road works. Quite what they're doing I don't know, more to the point what they aren't doing, because it's been going on forever and ever and ever, and makes the route absolutely tortuous. I hadn't been to Nelson for quite some time. I did used to work there many years ago, and wasn't a bad time at a bad town when I was working there. So anyway, here we are coming off the M65 for the Nelson turn off onto Leeds Road, and inevitably the roundabout can't cope with the traffic. And in fact, it's always been much like this, even when they didn't have the roadworks on the motorway. It just ground to a halt. I think the irony of this is that this road system and this motorway was really built to speed traffic through this particular area, and in fact at the other end of the motorway we've got a bypass, but as with all things, even the bypass has become clogged with traffic at peak times, so don't seem to be able to get anything right really one way or the other. So I'm trying to get on the roundabout to turn right into Nelson, and it's taking a while due to the traffic congestion and just generally how things are. So anyway, having negotiated a roundabout, and now headed into the into Nelson town, and you can see it's just a myriad of roadworks. You know, I'd like to think it's repairing the road surface, which it might be, but there seems to be something ongoing here all the time. So that's headed under the M65 under the bridge, coming on to what we call Scotland Road in Nelson. And we're negotiating the roundabout here, and about to actually come into the town centre. Now, the particular area I used to work in some years ago. I used to work for 5 or 6 years, and it was a nice area, good old Lancashire town really. But you know, the demographics have changed. I won't go into that, and things have changed a little bit, well, quite a lot really, and I didn't recognise it. It does look sadly quite shabby, but no doubt the local authority will say it's due to government cutbacks, and they're not authorised to spend any more money on it. But it's a pity, because it was a nice town. I believe it was actually named after the Admiral Nelson, after the Battle of Trafalgar. I think it was called, was it Marsden before that, Marsden, and then after the Battle of Trafalgar they renamed it Nelson. In fact, there's a pub in the middle of the town that is called the Trafalgar. It's also locally known as a zoo. And when I was working in the town, I asked one of my work colleagues why it was called the zoo, when in fact it was called the Trafalgar, and he said that it was because it was full of animals. And if you go in it, I don't know whether it's changed now, but it used to have a bit of a reputation. So anyway, we're turning right onto what was the old Scotland Road, the main road, and particular evidence here really. Demographics of shopping completely different, as you'll see the different places and stores as I park up there. But yeah, I have this place as some fond memories of my working life, but you know, as with all things, it changes, doesn't it, I suppose. But whether it's a change for the better, well, that's debatable. So I did my little errand in town, and I was quite glad to finish and get out of there. I had a bit of a diversion down the back streets to get onto the motorway, but can't say it was a pleasurable experience. It was certainly different, but there we go. Nowhere's the same, is it?